We are relatively in a good shape. Yes, right now we have 93% of our network fully operational. Yes, it was not like this during the last 16 months, okay, so it was a first shock. We were affected at the beginning of the war. Then it was a period of relative stability and deoccupation, and we were very much focused to rebuild our network across liberated areas. Then a horrible few months of the blackouts. At some points, we had more than 50% of our network shut down because of lack of electricity, you know. And right now it is relatively stable, so our KPIs are close to the pre-war period. Yeah.
There's an element of secrecy when there's a military campaign being conducted, but how necessary is it to have the communications element at this point?
It is extremely necessary. Yes, there are different means of communication. So mobile communication is just one of them. So they have special military communication, they have satellite communication. But we do whatever it is possible to keep communication running, okay, close to the operations. For the operations and for the people, we still have people living close to the front line, you know. So we are providing all the services for these people for free. We want them to be connected to the Ukraine. We want them to be communicating and getting information from Ukraine.
What does it take to maintain and repair the networks that are in those areas where people are on the front lines when things go wrong in combat zones?
It is it's a kind of constant recovery. So there are a number of sites that were already tens of times destroyed and recovered. Okay? As an example, 1,600 sites from 14,000 were recovered after the liberation. Among these 1,600 sites, 50% were seriously damaged or destroyed.
Wow, okay. And you talk about electricity and some of the challenges with ensuring that you have the energy needed to power the networks. Where do things stand now in terms of energy security?
We have invested a lot into the batteries and generators, okay? So we increased in times, okay? So we will be able, until end of the year, we literally will be able to run the whole network 6 hours without electricity, okay? And the critical grid at least for 3 days without electricity. So we are preparing for the worst scenario, massive investments into the batteries, massive investments into the generators, and massive investments into the new transmission lines in order to ensure, let's say, kind of flexibility of the whole network to react on the different challenges.
I was talking to your deputy central bank governor recently at an IMF conference, and what struck me was how strong the country is able to grow when it puts its mind to it. But equally, every time you build something, it gets broken again and you need to rebuild it. Yeah. This is where the international support seems to come into the equation. So when you look at your sector and all the rebuilding required over time, how necessary is it to keep on having these international funds?
It is extremely necessary from different perspectives. The first perspective is urgent needs. Yes, we need urgent support in a humanitarian and military area, you know, so in infrastructure area. And it is extremely important to invest into the development. And I hope that today and tomorrow event, Recovery Conference in London, will be very much focused on the restarting the economy, into the investments, public and private investments, into the area that can be crucial to restart Ukrainian economy in a long-term perspective. We have extremely high cost to recover, to reconstruct Ukraine. According to the World Bank, is more than $400 billion only for the first year of the war. Okay, and I think we should start to address this right now, not after the war. It is definitely a risk, but we need to choose priorities that are less risky. IT, for example, you know, distributed telco infrastructure. Yes, there are a number renewables. So it's a distributed infrastructure that can be supported, built, and developed right now. And this is how we are considering. So we are investing in development. We are building networks because people were displaced. We have a different pattern of population, you know, around Ukraine, and we need to provide them a reliable modern communication in every corner.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.